guys!
Hey guys!
I'm Gail Montgomery.
I am Bruce Montgomery.
And we are ExperienceYes.
Yay!
Congratulations on purchasing our new book, Change, a Leader's Guide to Fixing. Yes, so we are going to share with you how to use this book.
Now, we know it might be a little daunting. If you took a look at the directions, you might have seen multi-step directions and it can just be a little overwhelming. So we thought that this might be
way more fun.
Yes, and we're adorable, so you're going to get to know us. Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you.
So here's what you need. You need a piece of paper. You need 3 coins that are the same. I know, coins.
We happen to have, I know. This is why there's a coin shortage. We happen to have 3 pennies.
We have them all. 3 pennies, right? You need a pen. And you need a leadership question that is personal to you.
Yes.
For example, something like, how will the upcoming merger affect my team?
Or how should I behave or react to this cultural transformation that's going on within my business?
So thinking about the question and having it not be a yes or no question is really the key. So hopefully you have your question already in mind. If not, we'll give you a second.
Great. Okay, now write that question down on your lovely little sheet of paper.
Or if you have the book, you can write it in the back of the book. There's some blank pages there.
Yay, blank pages.
And you want to word it this way. As a leader, then your question. All right?
So as a leader, what might happen with this cultural transformation as my business moves forward?
Right.
Something like that.
So now, go ahead and toss the coins. When you toss the coins, it will correspond with either a straight line, a dashed line, or a straight or dashed line with a star at the end of it. You can only have 4 combinations, right? 2 tails and a head, 2 heads and a tail, all heads, all tails.
This corresponds to figure 3 coin toss variations in your book. 2 heads and a tail equals a straight line. 2 tails and a head equals a dashed line. All tails equals a straight line with a star, and all heads equals a dashed line with a star. So on your piece of paper, you're going to mark that very first coin toss down with either a straight line or a dashed line, and whether it has a star or not. In this case, I threw 2 heads and a tail. This is what it looks like. Yay, 2 hits. And you'll notice we're starting at the bottom of the page. We actually build our codes from the bottom up. So you want to start low. Just make sure you start low.
So when you're all done with your coin tosses, all 6 of them, you should have a code that's built from the bottom. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th coin toss. As we mentioned before, there's a star here because it was all
tails. So that represents a changing line. We'll talk about that detail of the changing line in a minute.
Meanwhile, you have your code. You can go into your book and find the corresponding key that will show you what your code is.
So we're going to be looking at figure 5, the code grid. So the figure 5, the code grid. And figure 5, the code grid looks like that bad boy. The columns up here represent the top 3 lines. The rows represent the bottom 3 lines. So basically what we're trying to do is narrow down into this situation where these intersect, and that gives us our code. So here I am looking at my grid. If I take the top 3 lines of what I just threw, it was a solid line, and a dashed line. That is represented right here in this column. Then if I go down to what the bottom 3 lines were, which was a solid line, a dashed line, and then another solid line, I can draw into the fact that this number is 37. So now you have your code, 37, in our case 37. I navigate to the page and find out what the current situation is represented. It's 2 pages long. All you do is read this. This is kind of the allegory, the metaphor, and whatever we're comparing it to, and 5 quick actions that you can take right now to address that.
If you didn't have a star after any of your numbers, you're all finished. If you did have a star, you're going to want to change that line to the opposite. So this solid line would become dashed.
So this represents what is changing. So you have what's going on right now. That was your first code. Now you're going to have what's changing, which is your second code. So Gail is currently drawing what that looks like, and then we will use the code grid to navigate to that location. So here's what it is.
So it would change from this to this.
So if I take a look at the code grid, this changed to dashed, solid, dashed, which is this column here. And I navigate back to the solid, dash, solid, which was the bottom 3 lines. And that gets me to 63.
Now, when you get to this particular part of the book, all you pay attention to is this side, the metaphor, things that might be going on. And this is where you're headed to.
That's it. Those are the instructions. You get a piece of paper, you get some coins, you get a pen, you think of a question, you throw the coins 6 times, you build your code from the bottom up.
You find your code.
you find your code.
And you use the actions to get shit done. Thanks again for buying the book.
Yes, indeed. Welcome to your change journey. It's all about leadership.
That's right. And if you want to get in touch with us, just scroll down. Our contact info's down there.
Yep. We look forward to hearing from you.
Bye.